Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and today we're going to be doing another Smackdown review. Now, there's actually a topic video I want to talk about, but, that's going to be its own video, because there's something I've really been wanting to talk about for actually quite a while, and I've been discussing that with a lot of my friends on Twitter, and they actually agree, so I'm going to make that its own video. But today, we're going to be talking about Smackdown. And Smackdown, it was alright. It wasn't too bad. I didn't mind it. Still, I definitely enjoyed this more than I've enjoyed anything on Monday Night Raw. The show began with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns scolding Jey Uso, for getting involved in his match with Drew McIntyre. Now let's think about this. If Jey Uso never got involved, Drew McIntyre would have won. So Roman is upset at Jey Uso for getting involved in his match. But Roman's got to realize it was only because of Jey he was able to beat Drew. If Jey never came out, Drew McIntyre would have Claymore kicked his head off, and that would have been it. That would have been it for the tribal chief, the head of the table. That would have been it for him. But he was scolding Jey Uso for thinking that he did the right thing, and then it all led to the blue collar working man, Otis, to come out. Looked like he was gonna have a match with King Corbin, but King Corbin has a match with somebody else later. But Jey Uso ends up attacking the blue-collar working man, and he makes him go down, and he goes down blue-collar solid. He goes down really solid. Tried to make a joke there, but it obviously failed. But yeah, Jey Uso just completely destroyed him. And Chad Gable was also there. We saw Chad Gable, help Otis out. I really wanted to see Chad Gable versus Jey Uso. Like, I really wanted to see Chad, stand up for his new friend. And, and if you guys didn't notice, I'm pretty sure some of you noticed this, but I noticed this immediately about Chad Gable. Did you guys notice that Chad Gable's ring attire was the old American Alpha attire? Did you notice his jacket? It said American Alpha on it, and those towels that he used to come out with, the Ready, Willing, and Gable towels were in his pockets. Now, I'm not trying to say that this is a hint to Jason Jordan returning. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, if you guys noticed Chad's attire, he was wearing his old American Alpha attire. That is all I was trying to say. His old American Alpha jacket and his Red, Willing, and Gable cloths or towels were in his pockets. Now, I actually really want to see Otis and Chad as a tag team. I'm okay with this. I think this Chad and Otis thing could work. It's a good way to get both of them on TV and give them something to do. So, yeah, I am ready, willing, and Gable to see how this team of the blue-collar working man and the former Olympian goes. And speaking of tag teams, we have the Street Profits taking on Dolph Ziggler and a robeless Robert Roode. Robert Roode looks so damn weird without a robe. Do you guys feel the same way as me? Do you guys feel that Robert Roode looks so damn weird without a robe? I want to see robes back. I want to see Robert Roode's robes back. I remember the time when Roode and Charlotte traded robes, and Charlotte was wearing Robert Roode's robe, and he was wearing her robe. I remember that from the Mixed Match Challenge. That was pretty funny and very hilarious. I want the old Robert Roode back. I want the Robert... I'm not a fan of this Robert Roode. I want the old Robert Roode back. The Robert Roode that won the United States Championship. The Robert Roode... And even the Robert Roode from NXT. I'm not... Don't get me wrong. Him and Ziggler are a good team. But I just can't take Dolph Ziggler seriously anymore. I just can't take him seriously. I can't take him seriously anymore. The fact that his finisher is now possibly one of the most overused moves in wrestling, the super kick. You know, that's one of the big major things I've been wanting to talk about as well. About how the super kick is one of the most overused moves in professional wrestling. Like, even AEW stars, the Young Bucks, do it. This is not just WWE. I've seen the Young Bucks do it. Even other wrestling promotions do it. Shawn Michaels perfected that super kick, and everybody just treats it like it's a normal move now. And it makes me so sad to see that. It's so sad to see that. You even see freaking Carmella and Paige. Paige was just an average wrestler at best, and Carmella is just downright trash, and we'll be getting to Carmella later on. But just seeing those two women just use this move just made me want to vomit. And Paige and Carmella, they made it look so damn shit. They made it look so damn shit. It's just not cool anymore. The super kick is just not cool anymore. And I can't take it seriously. I can't take it seriously anymore. It's a real shame. Same thing with suicide dives. They're really overused, but they're still fun to watch. They're still fun to look at. And another thing I want to mention is how someone as tall, like Charlotte Flair is really tall. Charlotte Flair is really tall, and you see her doing moonsaults. Now, yes, that's why her moonsaults... You know, that's why a lot of people laugh at Charlotte Flair for having terrible moonsaults. Not because she can't land the move. It's because of how tall she is. And her long legs. And her long legs make it really hard to nail the move. If she was a bit shorter, then maybe she'd be able to do the move. But when I hear people say that Charlotte Flair's not much of a high flyer, and... yeah, I can agree. Like I love this woman to death. I love this woman to death. But even I can admit, a moonsault really shouldn't be in her arsenal. Especially if she wasn't so tall. But if she was a lot smaller, if she was like around Sasha's height, or maybe a little bit more smaller, then yeah, maybe I could see her doing it. But yeah, I can see why many people make fun of her moonsaults. Mainly because of how tall she is, and she can't hit it because of how tall she is. But what I'm trying to say is that there are just some moves that are just overused. I think moonsaults are really overused as well. But Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler would actually win this. Robert Roode got the pinfall. Holy shit! Robert Roode actually finally won a match for once. For God knows how long, he's finally won a match. Unfortunately, it was with those stupid roll-ups. Why couldn't he just hit his glorious DDT to get the victory? But no, a roll-up has to be done. I hate roll-ups. They're just the lamest way to just beat somebody. They're just a lame way to beat somebody, especially when they're not damaged. And then we had Sami Zayn. The great heel, the great Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn, who is not a fraud whatsoever. He's a master strategist. The great Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn, who apparently is not allowed to be a heel, but yet Alexa Bliss is allowed to be a heel, and she can sucker Nikki Cross in all she wants, because it's being a heel. But when Sami Zayn becomes a heel, oh no, he's a fraud, and he's a terrible champion, he's a terrible heel. No, he's a good heel. He's a good heel. He makes you hate him. That's what makes you a good heel. You hating him makes him a good heel. But anyway, Sami Zayn faced off against Daniel Bryan. He won by countout. due to Jey Uso attacking Daniel Bryan for whatever reason. I don't know why. I guess it was revenge from last week when Daniel Bryan beat him, I guess. And then Kevin Owens appeared. And he got in Jay's face. He got in Jay's face. He prevented Jay from hurting Daniel Bryan even more. So that's really what happened there. Also, Sami Zayn and Big E had a pretty hilarious backstage segment. Not gonna lie, that was pretty funny. And Big E versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship, to me, sounds really, really fun. Then we had Bianca Belair, the EST. She faced off against who is not a boat. She is not the best of all time, Natalya. Bayley came to ringside, and Bayley was firing shots at Bianca Belair for letting Team Smackdown down, while Michael Cole was spitting facts that Bayley was the first person eliminated, the so-called captain of Team Smackdown. Look, I love Bayley, but come on, I love Bayley, but you know, I just have to speak the truth here. I just have to speak the truth. And Bianca Belair ends up winning with the most devastating finishing maneuver in all of professional wrestling. No, not the KOD, the roll-up. There is nothing a more devastating finishing maneuver than the roll-up. Nobody survives a roll-up. But yeah, nobody survives a roll-up. I do not like roll-ups. And yeah, pretty ridiculous. But Bianca won. She's still undefeated. And I'm definitely looking forward to a feud between her and Bayley. So a feud between those two should be really good. And then we had Murphy take on Baron Corbin, who was supposed to face Otis. Murphy won with a ton of distractions from the Mysterio family, and it led to Murphy winning and Corbin getting really, really angry and wanting a rematch with him next week. What's the bet? Corbin ends up winning with someone helping him. What's the bet? Like Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro, or like Aleister Black maybe reemerges, or something tells me Corbin is gonna win due to outside interference. Someone's gonna get involved, and it's gonna lead to Ray and Dominic teaming up with Murphy. Bank on that. And speaking of banking on something, Sasha Banks, she got some revenge on Carmella. Because Carmella, she was sitting in her little locker room, I guess her little special locker room. She was like clicking for a waitress to come and get her a drink. Took a couple of tries, but then the person came with a drink, and the person had the boss rings. The boss rings on the wrist, and that was Sasha Banks, obviously. And Sasha Banks attacked Carmella. Sweet, sweet revenge for Sasha Banks. Sweet, sweet revenge indeed. Yeah, you're not so unstoppable or untouchable. You're not so untouchable now, are you? Mella. Trash Mella. Bum Mella. I can come up with all kinds of names for you, but I'm not going to do that. And then the main event was Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso. Kevin Owens wins by disqualification because Jey Uso just unleashes with a steel chair. Kevin Owens fights back, and it seems like we're going to be getting a feud between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns over the Universal Championship. Now, that should be fun. That should be fun. Now, we have seen these two feud before back in 2016. Or, I guess I should say, late 2016, early 2017, like the match they had at Roadblock and Royal Rumble. So we have seen these two, have matches and feuds. But it should be very interesting to see it in a different perspective, as if Roman's the heel and KO as the face. So that should be interesting. So there you go, guys. That was pretty much all SmackDown review. I did like SmackDown a lot more than Raw, as I always do. But overall, it still wasn't outstanding, but it was tolerable and enjoyable where I could actually sit down and actually enjoy it. Just a few minor complaints. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for joining me. And if you guys did enjoy, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.